Hey, it's meteorologist Cory Reppenhagen here with the 9 News Weather Impact Team. I hope you had a chance to enjoy those 70-degree days while we had them, because they won't be back for a significant amount of time. The storm coming in on Saturday is going to kick off a whole new pattern where we're going to generally stay in the 50s and 60s with elevated rain chances for the first about 10 days of April. So that's pretty normal pattern here. But that first storm, we're starting to see that appear across the area here. Now, as we get, this is the system, by the way. You can see it on satellite, just a very elongated trough of low pressure here, and the end here just pushing that moisture right into the state of Colorado, and it's mostly going to be upslope when it comes back around. So we're looking at most of the impacts on the Front Range. Here's the forecast in Denver for Saturday. High rain chances across the early morning hours, and once you get to about 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock, the rain chances really start to go down to very just isolated across the area, only a 10% chance of getting hit by one of those afternoon showers. So you could get a pretty decent break across most of the daytime hours on Saturday. And then by about 4 o'clock, the second wave is going to start to come in here. And this will be probably the more significant wave here, going from about 4 p.m. into the nighttime hours here, 8, 10, midnight, all the way into Sunday morning. And we could get a significant amount of rain and snow mixed in. Now, I call this rain chances, but snow that melts on contact with the ground. It might as well be rain. We're only going to get about a ½ inch of snow in certain areas here across the Front Range. So snow's not the main impact here. It's mostly the rain. And then as we go into the daytime hours on Sunday, another break. So we're going to get a significant amount of moisture, but it may leave the daytime hours, both Saturday and Sunday, alone a little bit. So here's another way to look at that here as we go through the futurecast. About 1 o'clock in the morning here on Saturday really starts to get heavy overnight into Saturday morning. And then this big shield of heavy rain here that starts on the Front Range and moves towards the eastern plains. The plains will get a decent amount of rain showers here on Saturday morning, but during the daytime hours, so if you have youth sports starting at like 9 or 10, you may be in the clear. It just depends on how wet your field is and whether or not you're going to play or not, because during the daytime hours here on Saturday, we're going to see a little bit of sunshine, just some isolated rain showers. So there's certainly going to be some sort of a break in between these waves. And then about 4:30 or so on Saturday afternoon, the second wave starts to come in, and this wave will come in with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms at first, so not everybody gets the initial part of this. But once we get into the nighttime hours, it's going to expand and become very heavy here. By 10 o'clock, you can see switching over to snow for much of the area here, including Denver. But with these temperatures here, I'm not really feeling too much about a accumulation here. It's going to be very difficult to get any snow accumulation. Just briefly, at times when it's really heavy, we'll see a little accumulation, but it may only last for about 20-30 minutes. And as we go into Sunday morning, when it gets a little bit cooler, this is a chance for us to get that snow accumulation, but you can see by 5 a.m. here, it's already starting to get scattered to isolated. So not everybody's going to get snow accumulation, just a few areas. But with all this moisture, it's significant. I know it's going to break up some weekend plans here and there, but we really need it bad after a dry March, and really February wasn't too wet either. We do have some drought conditions here in the northern Front Range, extreme drought conditions starting to creep down here from the Wyoming state line. So we don't want that drought to get out of control here. So we do need this. There is going to be some snow involved with this. Like I said, it's mostly upslope. So right here along the Continental Divide is where you'll see that. West side of the Continental Divide, not so much, because that moisture won't be able to get over there. So below 9,000 feet here, we're looking at maybe a slushy inch or two, maybe 3. Summit County towns, probably only 1 or 2 inches of slush here. The mountain passes, Berthoud, Eisenhower, Vail, looking at 4 to 8 inches of snow. So there will be impacts. There's no winter weather advisories out just yet. They could pull the trigger on one of those, but I think there's just not enough here to really cause a travel advisory, just isolated times where there will be trouble. On the northern front range here, you can see the same thing here below 9,000 feet. We're looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow. More snow. We could get a foot in Rocky Mountain National Park on Trail Ridge, out in the Rabbit Ears Pass and places like Winter Park here. In the higher elevated towns, you could see a decent amount of snow, more than 6 inches, but otherwise not really too much in the way of snow. Here's your mountain pass impacts, I think, going late Saturday night or Friday night, Saturday morning into about 6 o'clock Saturday morning. Some moderate impacts on those interstates, on the passes. Then a little bit of a break, just like we do have down here in the front range. And then the impacts get up to about the moderate range going into Sunday morning. Now here's the forecast. Low temperatures on Saturday. Obviously not going to be cold enough to get any snow accumulation out of this thing on Saturday. It won't be until Sunday night into Sunday, or Saturday night into Sunday morning, that we get that. We could even get those temperatures up there pretty warm as we go through the day, because we get those breaks in between those waves. Like I said, we could see some sunshine, get the temperatures up to about 60 degrees here along the front range. So all in all, a lot of moisture. Just interesting that it may leave much of the daytime hours alone here. So you see that reflected here on the 7-day forecast, Saturday and Sunday. And then we get into the back end of this pattern, which is going to stay just active, is the way I would say it, where we'll keep those temperatures in the normal range, 50s and 60s, with just elevated rain chances going through the rest of the week. That is the forecast. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a real nice day.